As we're preparing for this video, we've kind of looked at where we've come personally with our family's finances by growing streams of income online and kind of making goals and looking toward the future. And I've got to say, in the future, you look like a pretty nice grandpa.
I actually look a heck of a lot like my grandpa.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
I don't know that I look like anybody particularly except a prune.
Yeah, a very dignified looking prune, I'll say.
All right, so in this video we want to share with you how we've grown 9 different streams of income for our families. And what the income streams are, I guess, is interesting. We are going to talk about that, but I think much more interesting and what we kind of want to focus on is how we've grown to having that many streams of income. Because there are some things that took us a few years to learn before we could pass certain plateaus.
That's right. And I want to start off, I think, with one of the biggest key learnings as we get into all these streams of income, because that sounds really awesome. 9 streams of income. But the fact of the matter is, like, what you watch, what you emphasize in your life, that's what grows, right? And so the things that you don't focus on will inevitably decay. They will fall away.
Yeah.
And that has been one of the biggest learnings that we've had in our business, that you had in your business even before we started. And one of the things I think that we'll highlight throughout the rest of the video.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're going to grow streams of income online, you've got to have some kind of audience for all of this that we're going to talk about. So like with Improved Photography, I grew the audience and I started with a stream of income. Ebooks, sweet. I get that up to $80,000 a year that I'm earning from these ebooks. And then I say, awesome, now I'm going to do video courses. And that grows into a business. And over time, those ebooks start to decay because I'm not pushing them anymore. I'm not marketing them. I haven't refreshed them.
Yep.
I'm not finding new places to sell them, and they start to decay, but it's slow over time. And then the online courses are doing awesome. I'm like, now I want a membership site, and I build a membership site while these are going down. And what I found is it took me years to realize I kind of hit the plateau of $500,000.
Yeah.
I hit that for several years. And I just looked up one day and I'm like, how is it possible that, like, when I'm taking on new projects, they're working? Like, we're seeing growth. But the last 3 years I've spent at a decay at this time, at a plateau at this time. And so that was the lesson that I had to learn, is what you watch grows. And every internet marketer has a number. You wake up and you will refresh PayPal, or maybe it's your Amazon, or maybe you're looking at page views. We all get some number that we're obsessed with looking at. And whatever that is, you're going to find it to grow because you're putting effort and emphasis on that as you go through your workday. And so it's good to do that, but you got to make sure you're not leaving others behind.
Cool. So as we talk about these different streams of income, a couple things I want to point out. There's really 2 pieces of watching these things. And the first one is having a way of tracking it. I do find that the impulsive, every time I look at my phone, here's the number I check, like that I find actually doesn't benefit me very much because I look at it too much and I'm neglecting all of the other numbers that actually matter. But again, so tracking it's important, and keeping track of not just that one number, but finding a way to track all of your income streams. That's what's going to matter. And then the second piece of that is coming back and putting emphasis on the ones that you need to put emphasis on right now. If you have 7 income streams that are doing really well and 2 that you're starting to see that decay, first of all, you'll see it because you're tracking it in a positive way, not impulsively. But second of all, you can then go put emphasis on that. And it could be that in a short amount of time, it could be that with 1 or 2 hours of work a month, you can keep those income streams up and allow yourself to maintain multiple income streams. So let's dive into, I guess, what those income streams are.
Yeah, absolutely. So the first one, I guess, is pretty obvious for a lot of people, and that is affiliate income. The reason I list that first on ours, though, is because that's often one that we neglect big time.
Yes.
We talked about this yesterday as we were kind of meeting on some things. We pay very close attention to like membership site sales and online course kind of sales because that's our biggest revenue driver for the income school business, at least.
Right.
And so we watch that carefully. And affiliate, we just never really look at. And there are many internet marketing gurus that make the vast majority of their money from affiliate. There's so many for email providers and hosting and so many different things that we just like hardly put any effort into the affiliate, and it's a huge missed opportunity. So affiliate can be massive on sites, but it can also be overlooked if you have other things.
And here's the thing about that is that we, for several months, have realized somewhere in the back of our minds that, yeah, we're probably falling short on affiliate. And we actually, we track our income, we track our books, but we weren't looking at it, right? We didn't have any
information was there, we just didn't check.
We didn't have any sort of dashboard. We didn't have a standard timeline for, okay, every week or every month or whatever, we're going to look at these numbers and see how we're doing. What's the health of our business? We weren't doing that. And so even if you're doing this like on an individual basis and like you're just trying to grow a few streams of passive income for yourself, you need to have some sort of system in place, even if it's just once a month.
I gather all the numbers, put them in Excel, and you can break it out by income
look
stream.
at them. So that's we've been neglecting to do on our Income School site. And
it's not just Amazon. Amazon is a great affiliate program. We can get, between on outdoor stuff, it's more like 8%. Most products, it's 2 to 4% that you're getting. Amazon's a great one, but there are lots and lots and lots of other ones as well. So affiliate is a big one. Next is advertising income. And this could be, ads on your website that you have. And I don't think we listed separately, but like YouTube income from the YouTube advertising. This is a very big one. We would definitely notice this if this were changed in our business because we do earn quite a lot from ads.
And this one requires, I would still track it just like you do everything else, right? Just track the numbers that comes in. But this one is probably the easiest to keep passive because honestly, there's just not a whole lot that's going to change on your website other than the overall traffic, right? Either the overall traffic is going to change or maybe people are spending less time on the page. And that's a site-wide issue that's going to impact all of your monetization chances are. And so I worry a little bit less about that one. But let's keep tracking it.
Yeah, and there are some changes like January and July are the worst 2 months of the year for advertising income because they're new halves of the year, and advertisers in July, they're kind of holding back income, waiting for the push at the end of the year during Christmas time. In January, they just got their budget for the whole year, and they want to kind of be careful while they're kind of resetting things.
Right.
And then November and December is just a bonanza with ads. It's just absolutely nuts the amount that you get from it. So it's important to recognize that some dips and things are normal.
The next one, people I think are neglecting a lot in internet marketing today, and that is ebooks and audiobooks. We don't even do a whole lot in our business with ebooks. We do have a couple, an ebook and kind of an audiobook type of product that we do sell. And
this happened to us.
Yeah.
So we have dirtbikeplanet.com. And I made a change to the website, and we had just in the sidebar, which only really shows on desktop, there was just a link to this garage manual that the previous owner of the site had made. And it's been selling on there small. It's not that big of a deal.
We've never pushed it.
But right? I changed the website, and it removed it from there, and so the sales were dead.
And neither of us noticed. For months, neither of us noticed. Because, again, we've spread ourselves thin, right? Obviously, we are honestly like always trying to test new things, mostly, for you guys, for this audience. And in doing that, we allowed ourselves to neglect that particular ebook. And so when it didn't get any sales, we didn't even really notice.
Yeah, hundreds of dollars missed.
Somebody pointed it out one day and I was like, oh yeah. And I put it back and immediately started getting sales again.
Yeah, again, it's not massive, but it's like, it just stinks when, because of that one tiny little mistake, you lose several $100s.
Yep. And again, even with that one, if we took the time and put emphasis on marketing that book a little bit, and by marketing it, I'm talking about using our audience. That website gets a lot of traffic, and in the articles we've written on that website, we don't push the garage manual at all. I think part of it is because neither of us has ever read it. And it may be a little bit outdated. Maybe it's due for an update. Again, that's an example of where we haven't put emphasis on one of our income streams on one of our websites.
So you can see it decay.
Yep.
All right, course sales, making a video course, whatever, and you're selling that individual course. This is a huge revenue opportunity. It's intimidating to make an online course. It's a big project to put that together, but they can sell for a lot of money. and is a form of learning that people are really, even now, even though they've been around for 10 years, are still catching on to. I think if you ask a lot of adults, they've never taken an online course still. And that number is still declining, is still going down of the percentage of people that have never taken an online course.
More and more people are taking more and more of these online courses because it really is just a great way to gain education in an inexpensive way. It's a lot cheaper than going to a university, and you actually gain like hands-on, worthwhile experience and knowledge in different areas. So I think that's an industry that's going to keep growing.
Membership sites may just be a collection of courses or whatever that somebody pays to on a subscription. This can be an extremely awesome way to monetize, but this is the big leagues. Now you have to have a whole library of information for the people to really keep their interest over time.
Resources, tools.
You've got to keep adding to it. There's going to be a lot more customer service. It's the big leagues, and you got to really be ready and have an excellent course if you want to keep somebody's subscription up.
Everything leading up to this point is something that can be run on an almost completely passive basis. Even individual courses, to a great extent, it doesn't require your time to go sell that course, and it honestly can run itself for quite a while without a whole lot of emphasis from you, with the exception of you come in now and then and you maybe tweak some articles, update some old articles, make some improvements here and there, maybe update the course with new fresh information, whatever. But it just doesn't require that much time. I mean, we're talking potentially a few hours a month in many cases. Once you have a membership site, this goes from being a passive little side thing to being a business, and you need to start treating it that way. We have learned that lesson and have really been able to grow our membership site on Income School because we treat it as a real business. And at this point, in order for us to be able to put emphasis on all of the other income streams and new projects and lots of things, we've learned that we have to bring other people in.
Which maybe is a good announcement time. We've recently made a full-time hire, Nathan Adelot, who used to be our manager at our office, is now his full-time job is just make Project 24 awesome. And he can do things like, we're in there just as much as ever, but he can do things like, hey, you guys need to sit down and record a podcast today to send out to the audience. Hey, I'm going to organize this webinar. I need you here at this time. And making sure that audience is getting the very best of us all the time, that it is professionally run, no mistakes. And so it's from that lesson that we learned about the decay of these income streams. That's the reason that we're building the business how we are now. When something grows to a certain point, you got to get somebody on it before you move to the next thing.
The next one is one that we've started to dabble in that's just a lot of fun, and that is tools and software. Teaching people how to solve their problem can be effective at making money, but solving people's problems for them is just, that sells like crazy, and it's super helpful to people. And so if you have that, neither of us is like an intense developer. I know a little bit of coding and stuff, but if you can hire somebody and you have basically, you've got the business case, like this is the problem that I need solved, help me solve it. And you just need some upfront capital, and you can create awesome tools and sell those.
Tools sell so much easier than information. I should just say that.
Yeah.
Like, I can teach you how to do this is just a much harder sales pitch than this will solve your problem for you.
I would put the tools a little bit less on the passive side, even though like a course, like they totally sell in your sleep, no problem. But tools like the internet, computers, they're changing all the time, and you are going to have to be putting some development work into these to keep them up to date all the time. So,
and this, you don't have to be a developer and spend a ton of money on improved photography. I did this with like filters, kind of for the professional software, Lightroom. I was just selling those files to people, or a template for a document or something like that, a legal document. These tools that just fix your problem for you are a great option. All right, consulting, pretty straightforward. You can work with people over Skype or do something recorded. We definitely do that as well. And then another one that I think is really, really huge, which is selling sites. When you sell a website, you can get a giant lump sum of cash to do whatever you're wanting to do, to buy a house, to retire early, to whatever it is you're doing. And so by building a little bit of a portfolio of yourself of sites over time, like that's pretty cool to be able to do that anytime that you need a little extra money for something like that. Obviously, you want to keep them, right? Because then you make the money over time. But sometimes it does make sense to do something like that. And so it's another way of earning income that's very unique.
And when you do get lump sums of cash, or when you do have all these nice passive income streams that are bringing in income, like either way, for us, these things have just changed our lives, changed our financial lives entirely. But, what do we do with that money? We are believers in just generating income streams, right? Passive income streams, and in honestly planning for the future. So like we get to enjoy the money that we have, but like I know that someday I'm probably not going to want to sit down and work on my websites all day, every day, right? I'm not going to want to have to go into the office.
When you look like that, I mean, you just wouldn't want to do that.
No, not anymore.
You just want to play checkers all day.
And so when the time comes to play checkers, you need to be able to have income streams still coming in. And as we know, if you're not watching your sites and you're not working on your sites, they will decay over time. And so if you're planning a retirement based on having, these passive income streams from your websites and you don't plan to work on them anymore, they may not last that long. And so selling a website and getting this lump sum of cash, now what do we do with it? Well, we are both investors, right? I think we have slightly different investment methodologies.
Yeah, mine is this. It's so simple. Buy an index fund.
Just
the end. Forget about IRAs, 401ks. Don't let the government decide when you're going to retire. Just buy lots and lots and lots of index funds. That's my whole strategy. That was it.
We had this discussion yesterday about retirement accounts, and there are definitely some benefits to retirement accounts, especially Roth ones.
Yeah, and I have some too. But at some point, you have so much in there, it's like, okay, but if I want to retire early...
Right. That's the thing, is they hold your money hostage until you reach a certain age. And when you have all these income streams, you're like, I kind of feel like retiring now.
And to be fair, you can take out the initial that you've put into the investment. You can take that out early, just not the increase. But anyway, that's going to be the big piece, is the increase, right?
Is the increase. And so for me, I do like to kind of dive in a little bit deeper. And so I have a group of friends that we have an investment club, and we do buy individual stocks and stuff. But mostly that's just kind of like for fun. The vast majority of my investing is in mutual funds, and same thing. Other things, I'm interested in real estate and other stuff like that, but I don't know. For the most part, I try to keep it very, very simple. But the point is that the earlier you start investing this money, the more growth you're going to have, and that these passive income streams you have today, if you use them to fund those investments for the future, you can have a retirement where it doesn't matter how much taxes are. It doesn't matter if the government's going to give you a Social Security check. It doesn't matter if the government's going to pay for your health care when you're old and don't have any money left, because you will have money left because of these income streams you've generated over the course of your life.
Yeah, it's that shift where every day you're working towards something that can grow over time.
Yes.
If you do that for enough years, wow, it's incredible what you can produce. And kind of that's the whole point of everything online. Yeah. Sometimes I see somebody who says, oh man, I spent a year working on this website and I only earned $1,000. And I'm like, okay, but you earned $1,000 and it can grow over time. All that work you put in doesn't mean you get the $1,000 and you're done now. That work builds on the next work, builds on the next work, and it gets bigger every time. So start with whatever you can. Get to your pizza day as soon as you can and keep pouring a little bit more gasoline on it until you get to where you want to be. Thanks everybody for joining us in this video. If you're ready to get started, check out our webinar where we're going to lay out the whole strategy on how to build your website.
You kind of sounding like that old man now.
And get some income online.